Ladies and gents, fellas and vault dwellers, we are going to do something very new to this 1996 two-door Tahoe. Something I've never done, but it probably won't be any kind of problem for me at all. And that is wire up the Aces fuel injection on this. You might think it's just a regular small block, and it almost is, but it's also a vortec and should make, you know, a little over 450 horsepower. But we're going to make all the factory stuff work. AC, gauges, all that stuff. And we're going to get rid of all this, whatever the heck. You really got to see this to believe it. We got to get rid of this. What is that? Yeah, it's a fan relay that somebody made somehow. 3-speed fan relay. Not my style, buddy. Gotta make it nicer and neater than that. Because this truck is clean. Look at that. Look at that dash. No cracks. Literally flawless interior. And we got boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff to put on this thing. Alright, so one of the first things we're going to do is start making the battery cables. And I took the old ones off and I just laid my cable right there and just kind of eyeball it. And so we got one right here. That's our ground for the engine. Then we got our little body ground. I'm going to make that about twice as long actually. A hot for the alternator. I'm going to make that a little longer so I can route it differently. That's our hot. And then we need one more hot. And that's going to be to the starter. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Trying to do new things, teach people things that other people don't know. Or maybe they do know and they don't want to tell you. I'm definitely trying here, bud. Okay, I'm just gonna hook up these battery cables to the starter, the ground down there, and the alternator, and then to the body ground here. My camera's being wonky, so you're gonna have to give me a second. Okay, so we got our cables ran. We got our body ground here and there. Nice and clean. Cleaned the paint off the block down there where I put the ground on. And I got it in the factory little bracket loops. And I got the fuse box wire run under this dual plane intake back there that goes over to the fuse box on that side. And then I got my alternator wire right here, kind of tucked down, and I'm gonna secure it in this area so it's out of the way. All right, so right now we're just putting the factory harness back on. That's gonna be for our Prindle, the park reverse neutral drive, anything related to the AC. The interior, this plug goes to the inside. The tach, the fuel pump, anything related to the gauges, the starter wire, all that stuff. And I went through and got rid of most of the stuff I don't need, but since I didn't take it apart, I'm actually kind of winging it, because when I take it apart I label everything so that way I know what I can delete. And I got rid of the stuff I know for sure that I can get rid of, like the injectors, anything to do with the old throttle body, all that stuff. So, but I got the fan relay harness screwed down there, and then it's just 2 wires for power, 1 wire for ground, and then these 2 are going to get hooked up to the Aces for fan control, and then the other 2 plugs, these 2, get plugged into the fans. That's about it for this little section. All right, this is what we got here. We got these 4 wires that come from the PCM, and that's main power, main ground, key on power, and fuel pump power. And this goes directly to the fuel pump. And on this OBS, it's the gray wire on this 4-pin connector that goes to the back. And I've already pulled it out so I can attach it there. And then we're doing the Quickdraw transmission control module. So we have, again, main power, main ground, and key on power. And then we have, I'm pretty sure that we may need more wires in this out of this loom, or out of this bundle. But this is our purple TCC unlock wire. This wire is not labeled, so I left it out because I don't know what idea what it's for. And then we have these 5 wires. And that's AC in to tell the Aces that there's AC on. Then we have V main. Can't remember what that one's for, but I'll tell you again later. Fan 1, fan 2, that's the yellow and green. Fan 1, fan 2, and AC fan. This is a ground for the AC fan relay. Do not use it to ground the fan directly. That is not how things work, okay? Alright. We got our fan relay set up for our electric fans. And all we have to do is wire these 2 wires to the PCM. And then we got fans. And in the distance, we hear migratory car alarm birds. Beautiful sound in the morning. I got fuel pressure. I got this bad boy plugged in right here. I stabbed the distributor timing. If you read the instructions, I meant the instructions. It says you need to lock out the distributor from advancing the timing at all, and you have to pull it. You have to take it off the vehicle if you've already put it on. You know, drive the roll pin out of the gear, lift the top up. Well, you got to take the button off first. Lift the top up, and there's a little nut. It's like a 7mm. Take that nut off, and then pick the inner shaft up and twist it like 180 degrees, and then put the nut back on. So that way the advance doesn't work at all. It's in the instructions. I'd probably explain it better than I did. Although it sounded like a jumbled mess when I read it out loud, I'm not gonna lie to you. So it really wasn't the best explanation. So I just got a little mess going on right here. I had to throw everything up because it started pouring down rain. I got a handful of wires left. Actually, this is all the wires I have left. Fuel pump power and key on power. And then I just gotta hook up these two fan wires. And then there's a couple more here. The brown one is for tach output to the tachometer. This one's for AC input to let the computer know the AC's on for idling up. I don't think I need to hook this one up, and I don't think I need to hook this one up. So, and then what's this black one? This blue one is for AC fan. So I spent some time yesterday. I zip tied all these wires together. I zip tied down there. All those wires are zip tied to the fan shroud so they don't get tied up. And then I still need to clean up this area a little bit because it's kind of ugly. But for the most part, it looks pretty good considering there's actually four separate harnesses on there. You got your transfer case harness, you got your original OBS harness, you got your Aces Quickdraw, and you got your Aces KILLSHOT all tied up in there. And I actually hid the two Aces PCMs underneath the factory PCM, which I probably could have gotten rid of the factory PCM, but I heard that these trucks use the PCM for a few things like ABS and stuff like that, and he wants full functionality, so we're gonna try to give it to him.
12 seconds later.